one day I can remember one day I went to my teacher, and he told me at that day it was a lot of bombs in the area, and he told me, Amjad, are you still alive? He was wondering after all these bombs if I how I could survive after all these bombs. My name is Amjad Ali Khalaf. I come from Aleppo, from Syria. I come from a big family and close-knit family as well. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters. It was never an easy decision to leave my country. We we were fighting until the last moment. We were fighting until the last moment of our staying in our houses. But at the end, we were forced to leave our country. And my family's goal, my parents' goal in life is for us to get educated. So we were fighting for this, for their dreams first, and for our dreams as well. We kept fighting until the last moment, until the death of my brother. And the death of my brother was the main point when we decided to leave from Syria. The whole 3 years of staying in Syria, it was really difficult. But one remarkable day is when I was visiting the house with my father, and I went to the open market in order to get some stuff in order to clean the house. And suddenly a helicopter just bombed the open market, and we saw the rocket coming down from the helicopter. And this rocket destroyed a building of 5 floors. And I was running in the opposite way of the building with one of my friends, and I could see at that time the pieces of glasses, the stones and metals crossing my head. I was putting my hands above my head in order to protect it. And then I just found a car, and I just laid down under the car. After a while, I kept running to go into the house, and my father told me, "What happened? Why you look yellow? Why you are so scared?" I told him I couldn't talk at that time. I couldn't talk for 3 hours, and then they understood what happened. And at that incident, 18 people were dead. Most of my friends, I don't know about them anything, and I have lost many of them. I have lost many of them in the war. So my family and I decided to leave the country, but we couldn't leave all of us at the same time. So I moved ahead of them. I went to Turkey. I went illegally. I crossed the borders illegally, and it was so dangerous because the Turkish army were shooting at the people, and they weren't allowing anyone to cross. So I went first by myself in order to find a place for my family, just a small place for them to stay. After a while, they joined me in Turkey, and I was the main responsible person in the family of taking care of the family. It never was easy because they were seeing us as slaves. They didn't see us as humans or as refugees who left their countries. They didn't care about who we are. They only cared about how much we could produce for them. And after 3 months, because I was working sometimes in other cities, my mother called me and told me, "Amjad, you need to leave this country. This is not a place for you. You have a future to keep fighting for. You cannot fight for your future here." I told her, if I leave now, who's gonna support the family? How you gonna survive? So I had to make this decision of staying in Turkey instead of going and looking for my future. We had to cross the sea with a small boat. We were 70 people in the small boat. 30 of us were children. And it was too dangerous because the weather was really bad, and the sea had really high waves. We could drown in any time, in any moment. But fortunately, at the middle of the sea, the Coast Guard found us, and then we were transferred to their boat, and then we were brought to Chios Island. And after some time, we moved to Athens, to Thessaloniki, and then to Idemeni. Life in the camp was difficult and horrible for all the people, but I started thinking that this is not the place where I want to be. I forced myself to get involved in helping the volunteers and learn their language and culture. I didn't want to fall into depression of not doing anything. I had always wanted to play guitar, and one of the volunteers gave me a guitar and started practicing by myself. Helping the volunteers gave me the opportunity to meet new people, and this led me to find a part-time job and finally to feel alive again and hope for a normal life again. I met Paratis staff, and fortunately I had the chance to attend a few classes in the American Farm School. I started dreaming and hoping that I will be able to revive my dream to be able to be educated and live a constructive, meaningful life. I dare to look for a future again.